Questions, commissioners?
Mr. Chairman, I was at the, even though I'm an alternate, I assume I can make comments. So I was at the planning. During the public hearing, it's really kind of a public information gathering session.
Right.
I'll wait till.
You can ask questions.
Right.
Right, you can ask a question, Jim.
Right, alternates can ask questions during the public hearing. Once the public hearing is closed, and again, this is based, as commission members know, this is based on a Connecticut Supreme Court decision. Only the members who are voting on the application can discuss it. Okay, so I have to form my comments in the form of questions.
Yeah, we're going to play Jeopardy here. You have to ask it in the form
Yes.
of a question.
Yeah, okay. I'm not Yoda, so let's figure this out. Anyway, I guess questions came about at the Planning Commission. I know they struggled with this issue as well, and it wasn't a unanimous vote. In fact, it took almost a full minute for anybody on the commission to even decide they were going to make a motion to accept or reject or recommend or not recommend. The question I have, I guess, to Attorney Ziog is you had made some arguments at the Planning Commission that I thought were pretty strong, but we kept referring to the recently passed Plan of Conservation and Development, which the commissioners just received copies of from the city planner. My question is, this particular lot, I'm a longtime resident, I'm a lifelong resident, third generation resident of Bristol. This lot has never had anything on it, these lots. In fact, if you look on the city maps that we have, they're empty. And the one lot that does have a building on it is an empty bungalow, an older bungalow that no one really wants to live in. It was the market rates, I think, for that, as you brought up, I believe, was $62,000 or something like that. It wasn't something like that, but anyway, I guess the question is around to hang your hat on the Plan of Conservation and Development, which I look at as like the Bible for Bristol. Like all good Bibles, you could find a clause that supports or doesn't support whatever it is you want to say. And in this case, it seems inconsistent. I don't know if you find it that way as well. It's inconsistent in many ways to other clauses within the plan that say, you know, we will promote economic development, we will build business, we will develop business along fringes of residential as long as it's not on the side street or as long as it's on a major road. So they're all in, so that the Planning Commission, to me, is inconsistent with several clauses in the Plan of Conservation, and then they're consistent with it because the plan is pretty much all over the map with what it hoped to accomplish. So the question I have to you, which isn't really a question, but it's, do you find that is the case as well, that there are things in the Plan of Conservation that are inconsistent with the Planning Commission's recommendations to zoning?
Absolutely, and you know, I'm looking at it right now because unfortunately I sat down and read it.
I have several citations if we want to go page by page, but I think
one of the things it says, encourage or require sharing of driveways and other access management strategies to reduce congestion and maintain the capacity of the roadways. It's certainly something that we're promoting in this particular case, is that, you know, 4 driveways does not make any sense. 1 driveway is better. That's what it says in your plan of development. Yet at the same time, it says that this area should remain residential, so that there's this incongruity in many sections of the plan of development as it applies to Route 6. And that's problematic. And quite frankly, there's only one section of the plan of development that speaks about limiting the development on Route 6 in this particular area, and it's a short paragraph. It's the same paragraph that was there in 2000, and I just have trouble accepting the fact that in 15 years, nothing has changed on Route 6, because a lot has changed on Route 6, yet our plan of development hasn't changed.